Hello, good morning, evening, afternoon. Let me get there and plug some things in. Oh, a bit late. I had to deal with some city skylines, self-imposed emergencies. I destroyed my city skyline city, sort of on purpose, sort of accidentally, and that means I was delayed a bit trying to fix it. Let me get my stream up on my phone. That's how I look at chat. It's much easier. I have a thing. Let's do a test. So make sure everything's working. Hello. That works. Let me just add people who are interested. And let's do some downloading of some recs while I'm here. If anyone's in, let me know, say hello, all that palaver, when I do a download and I get things ready. Download, save game, let's do a move. Okay, that's that done. Hello, BoesBoes. How are you? Anticipating your cast. Okay, I have the draft in front of me. I do not have the map draft in front of me. Let's get that in front of me. Hyper random light first match sounds like pain. Well, actually, I like hyper random light, to be honest. I wish I had that in my match, but someone banned it. Anyway, let's get things ready. One of us BoesBoes game 1. Spectative capture age. It'd be good if I loaded capture age, wouldn't it? That would be a good idea. Okay, we are in a position to start, roughly about. So it's hyper random light. BoesBoes versus Lawler. That's it, Lawler. Hyper random light. What civs do I like? Any civs. It's hyper random light. BoesBoes, feel free to chat and let me know any feelings you had coming into this. Obviously you know what's happened, but any sort of your own commentary that you could provide, that would be useful, because it's easier talking to people than talking to oneself. Hyper random light. BoesBoes, you've got Japanese, Malians, Burmese, Chinese, Bulgarians, Malay and Bengalis. Quite infantry-led civs. And then Lawler has got Teutons, Vikings, Lithuanians, Britons, Burgundians, Turks and Bohemians. I would say cavalry-based more than anything. Hyper random light could be anything. Often a lot of sheep. Britons as well for lots of sheep, just in case you have a lot of sheep. Could be lots of berries, but no one's got Franks. Could be lots of hunt, no one's got Mongols. Could be lots of gold. Turks might be quite nice. I'm just thinking of eco bonuses that maps could bring. There could be some water. So Japanese might, if they anticipate some hybrid, a lot of hyper random generations I've seen have been hybrid. So someone like Japanese, Malians, Lithuanians, all good hybrid civs. Malay, if you're really going for like some really watery strats. If you just want some safe fish boom in the back, Malay is an option. I wouldn't recommend it for the civ. It's what I have myself, as you well know, because we're next door to each other on the draft. So if there's any water boom potentially. I don't know what Lawler will go for. Maybe Britain's to hit with the sheep. Don't know what BoesBoes will go for. Maybe Malians because it's an alright okay civ. So we are ready to, let's do some starting, let's do some casting. Let me know if the audio is fine, all that palaver. So shall we get going? It's Britons versus Malians. So Lawler's picked Britons for the sheep bonus. There are 7 sheep. It's only 7 sheep hybrid random. Why was I thinking of mega random. Hybrid random light's always 7 sheep. Okay, I forgot about that. It's only 7. Yeah, hybrid random's only 7. You want the nomad start for the extra sheep, for the experience sheep. Yeah, 7 sheep guaranteed, less than Arabia. So maybe Britons. I don't know about that. And then yeah, let's get this cracking. Yeah, Malians is just such a good tech tree. I agree. I wish I drafted those. I played them. Played them a lot on ladder after I did the draft. After I sort of subbed in my draft, so I had no idea how good they were until like, oh wow, they're quite good. A lot of water this generation, a lot of hills. Britons won't like a lot of hills with their TC positions. This is interesting terrain. I don't know if it's unwallable or what have you. It's very grey and very dingy. So what do we have? We have some gold and stone, 4 gold. So, I mean, it's not really. You don't really have any personally. We start in a crater. Both players are starting in their own little crater. And with some stone, gold, rarely there's a sort of off to the side. There's resources, quite a lot of gold and stone. Here, BoesBoes has got all theirs in one place, while Lawler's got them sort of dotted either side. In the centre, there's lots of nothing. Big open space. I don't know if that's buildable or not. We'll see. Relics. Each start plays with 1 relic, and there's 1 relic near to them. Yeah, 1 relic. Both players would start with 2 relics effectively. So no relic victories easily. But what we notice is lots of water, there's lots of deep fish, there's lots of shore fish. That benefits the Malian start. Malians cheap buildings can get a dark and fishing ship quite easily. Britons aren't like the most watery civ in the world. Like you see them in things like Golden Swamp. It's quite government because of the pressure you could give, because of the land and water combined in one arena sort of thing. But on something where you have fish at the back and army at the front, Britons don't really see that much play. What do we see? We see early loom. Lawler's already going to idle the TC otherwise, so I don't know. Not the best on food. Britons Britons eat sheep faster, which is how useful, but I think Lawler just mistimed the calculations, the numbers there, and didn't quite have enough on food. Well, yeah, BoesBoes has got a bit more idle TC time just to begin with, but has not had to go and buy loom yet. What do you think? What do I think about this? In post-imp, I prefer the Malians because you got champ skulls. If it gets like really late Imperial, champ skulls will absolutely murder anything archery that Britons can do, and I don't think they get hand cannon. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not think Britons get hand cannon, or even bombard cannon, to be honest. So trying to deal with champ skulls is going to be tricky for the Briton player. Sure, you can do your own champions. You would trade better because you have full upgrades on all your full blacksmith, but it's not really in their wheelhouse. And then Gabetto exist, which do very well against champions. So Malians I like later on in the game. Malians just have to survive till then. Yeah, Britons do get better champions, yep. But then you just mix some Gabetto in and it's game over, pretty much. So yeah, I like Malians later on in the game because of that aspect. Mid game, camels are always good to have a camel civ in general, but then Britons are going to go archers, and Malians don't have excellent archers. They don't get bracer, so they can't really go in for the long term. Nothing unique, nothing tech wise to make their skirms particularly brilliant. Here we have Lawler's scouts being a bit curious. Yeah, if that's fully walled in, that villager. But yeah, BoesBoes has gone for a dock. Lawler has not gone for a dock yet. I think like they should. There's a lot of fish. Maybe just haven't seen that much. They didn't think that this tiny little path isn't a lot of fish, but there's this whole bay area here, which is very tasty. And maybe they're realising that with this shallows that it extends quite far. I think BoesBoes got much better. I mean, I would like to see a dock here, to be honest, because it access this bay, but neither of you know this bay exists. because I mean, yeah, this is where all the big fish is, and if you get a dock there at some point, you'll really benefit. But this is quite a lot. It's still a lot of fish. There's fish every like 4 tiles is deep fish, which is probably bigger than something like a Nomad generation stat, something a bit more, some sort of this sort of width of a channel. That's probably a better fish generation than Nomad. So I think definitely recommend fishing. And Lawler has not fished yet. It does not look good so far for their feudal age eco not having any fish. But what we see is Lawler going for a fast castle sort of type start. Oh no, not fast castle. Hasn't got the second building. It's going to be fast feudal, but didn't get a mill or a dock. That would be lovely. But yeah, didn't get the second building. It's having to rush a mill down to upgrade, but in the end, both players but like at the same time exactly. But BoesBoes has the extra 3 fishing ships, which Lawler does not. So having to spend that extra 225 wood. Rich extra, and it's still aging at the same time is really good for BoesBoes. Really good start, and they can keep working with fish. I don't know why Lawler should really be docking. They've seen that the opposing dock, and that definitely should be a sign. And quite good scouting of the general map. This is the entirety of the land area in the centre almost. Pretty much. Haven't seen their back resources, but yeah, it's pretty much a comprehensive scout and should really recognise that water exists. BoesBoes scouting is very similar. Has scouted pretty much the same Central Island, and now finding the TC. Lawler has pretty much found the TC. This scout is not going to die. BoesBoes is good to draw at the right time, but well, that's actually quite good. Making the scout a bit weaker work, but it's quite a hilly map, so if you're not careful, BoesBoes might find a hill to just perch on and attack Lawler's scouts from there. But I think, yeah, Lawler's not bothering. Both age at the same time. What do we see? Archery range, classic Britain, stable, classic, I wouldn't say classic Malians, but the Malians don't get great access. Yeah, it's not probably wisest to go man-at-arms. I mean, man-at-arms could be in a good shout, but I feel like BoesBoes was a bit late to try and work out the base. Double range Britons, that's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of quick, if you pardon my English. So yeah, it's going to. I mean, I don't know what. I think you might have to go for an archery range here. Yep, skirms. That's good call. Because you know you're going to get archers in the face, and you know that Britons can just mix and spear to stop any scout play. So yeah. Few scouts, I guess, just to make things interesting. The wooden economy is wooden mill is nicely walled off. Well, until that tree gets eaten, well, Lawler have to keep an eye on that. But then BoesBoes hasn't scouted that. Does not even see the lumber camp. No idea there's wooden mill. No, don't even know. No idea where the berries even are. So yeah, Lawler's fairly safe eco-wise. But Lawler loses the scout, which is, I mean, it's always useful to have the scout when you're an archer player. Many skirms can mixed in. It's always nice to try and pick off a few skirms if you can. Now the counterattack comes. There aren't quite enough archers yet to really hurt these. They got fletching though, but maybe. Oh, one more scout and you could decisively take that spearman. That was unfortunate. I mean, you probably could take the spearman here, but yeah, it'd be mostly archers. Four scouts is usually the number you want just to murder a spearman. And then you can, but now that's a bit too late. Lawler has, I think this is fully walled. Well, this is fully walled this side, not fully walled that side. I think these 3 fields are walled enough to avoid any early pressure. So the 4, oof, that was not very nice pathing there by those scouts. Loses the weak scout to the spear. It's going to be quite a feudal battle. Skirms coming out, fletchings coming in. I think that's quite sensible decisions, but there's no resources, no one on gold yet. It's fine. You don't need any gold. You've gotten just enough for fletching, just enough for loom, and I thought the scouts were going to destroy that. Yeah, but then so you don't need a loom, but it might be nice to get some gold income just for when you go to Castle Age. Lawler still got no dark, still not even caring about fish. Which means that BoesBoes, in theory, I mean, if they didn't know they could do safe docks here. I mean, I don't love this gate, to be honest. Pretty sure you can just walk right round. Maybe a dock here, maybe a dock here to scout that, but yeah, this gate does nothing. it is this feels like walkable terrain based on that ostrich. It's walkable terrain. So we have these skirms. I would say pressuring in a very loose term, pressuring the vills and the gold, and then we have Lawler dragging a lion, but we have a vill kill. One of the gold vills died. This is a very unfortunate gold for Lawler, and I feel like maybe he should have gone for this one potentially. It's hard to tell. There aren't really safe golds. Having to do a tower to get it up. Not lost any more vills yet. Let's see if any of those. I think they're fairly safe. But has mopped up the archers. Is trying to get another vill kill. I think it will before the tower comes up. Yep. But yeah, vill goes down. It goes down there. I couldn't quite see. But on the other side, Lawler, BoesBoes also went for gold and lost 2 vills here at the gold. So a trade of towers I didn't really notice, but I thought the archer was doing something. I had no idea BoesBoes was on gold here. But yeah, I mean those archers, yeah, they're not going to do much in the long run. One scout will force them away, or maybe a couple of scouts, maybe a couple of skirms. So far, BoesBoes definitely against BoesBoes 2 more vill kills, probably over this tower. A lot more eco kills. All of Lawler's archers have been swept up, and Lawler has to go skirms to deal with BoesBoes' skirms, but skirms will just die to the scouts. It's just all going to be. BoesBoes definitely had the lead in feudal age. Has the eco lead because of the fish. Trying to break through here. That's not. I mean, it's not going to be too useful. But I don't think BoesBoes know. Yeah, BoesBoes doesn't know that all this eco is in the back here. It's walled off, but it is in the back. Some skirms swing around to pick off the vills. A whole much of Britain's skirms come and make things interesting. This vill's on the wrong side of the gate. There is a hole here though. There's a hole right past this barracks, and they just walk in. They didn't walk in and take that vill. That was an easy vill. They must have just tried to wander in round about this area. I guess now they're being controlled. Trying to take a few vills. But skirms don't have the best attack in the world. It's not going to be enough surprise to take a vill, and that's going to be annoying but dealable. Here we have the vills. That's what on this lumber camp has run away here. But the gather point. Lawler's gather point was still up here, and one of those vills wanders off and dies. So the skirms aren't getting too much eco damage, making a lot of weak vills, making a lot of idle vills, which is very handy. But apart from that, it's not doing too much damage. Similar to Lawler's skirms, they've just been a bit annoying, really. BoesBoes is close to aging up. If they had a market, they could definitely buy their way up to castle age. Lawler very much cannot age themselves up. Ooh, what do we have here? We have a hole. Wall it in. Never mind. All of the wood villas escape. This is plenty of free range. A lot of these weak villas from skirm hits. One of them goes down. Some archers are downhill archers, though, downhill skirms. Another vill goes down. It's not looking good for Lawler here. I don't think another vill's not going to go down. It's probably going to get cleared up. Well, force it to run away anyway. These skirms have sort of done their things. I think they've walked straight round this gate. But yeah, this BoesBoes is going to get completely cleared up. But more importantly, BoesBoes has gone to Castle Age. Getting bloodlines, knights are going to come out. It's got a nice and lovely number in gold. A lovely number, I think that's enough for 5 knights from 2 stables. That's going to be a great amount. I would definitely recommend getting Scale Barding as well at the same time. Definitely, yep, it's coming in. Scale Barding is coming in. Lawler's going to try and buy their way up to castle, but can't buy with what resources? They don't have anything. They could sell one lot of gold, and that's about it. It's not looking good. But we have Lawler's army coming. Will it get there? So 30 seconds before Castle Age. This army's going to do a bit of damage. It's going to probably kill these stone vills. Quite important stone vills. I think most of us wants a TC. It's quite a decent number. This skirms eventually will get a hit. Unfortunately, they keep missing. Feudal skirms do be missing. Castle Age comes in. 6 knights. It's not looking good for Lawler. So that's enough knights to murder this army. There's no armour on these things, just fetching. No spears either in the mix. This army, yeah, has to run away. You don't want to sort of highlight that where you exist. Luckily, Lawler's got their eco in the situation, but not make any vills. trying to get their way to castle whatever way possible. That involves idling the TC for a good minute, around a minute for the last few minutes. TC is not great in both sides. Bit of a feudal game. Both regularly new skirms, which definitely ruins your food income to make villagers. It does seem brutal. Hi Lawler, thank you for coming. It didn't seem great for you this game. Because you didn't dock. That's why you didn't dock. That was your main. That's probably the only mistake you've made. The main mistake you've made is not making a dock. Because it's such a good. If you never make a dock in a hybrid map, you've basically lost. I can check the stats quickly while nothing's happening. Stats, food. You've lost 2,000 less. You've got 2,000 less food than BoesBoes. That's pretty much the entirety of Castle Age and like, I don't know, 10 vills different. And you already lost 5 extra vills and had 1.5 minute extra TC idle time. That's the difference, and that's the difference in fishing eco. So we have knights, we have mining knights trying to find a way in. There isn't really a way in, not an easy way in. That's abandoned. This is the only way in. There's a tower here, there's spears. Probably not enough spears. I mean, you probably should, if you're not, the archers aren't doing this, you're really just garrisoning your tower with your archers, to be honest. If they weren't thinking of doing things, that might be something to think. I know you sort of want the tower for your vills as well, but this army's not doing anything at the moment. This army needs to do something. I know it's already just feudal archers and skirms, but it'll make a distraction. Because 4 more vills died. Yeah, my hyper random doesn't guarantee water, so yeah, there's always a bit unsure if you want. But yeah, if you see shorefish and you think it might be deep fish, then yeah, that's always a point to dock. I won my match against my first set of this thing because I docked the water and my opponent did not dock the water. I mean, I was Gujaras, that helped, but I was able to get a massive sort of boom in early Castle Age GG because I had the actual food eco from water. So we have some TCs. Britain TC, Malian's got a second TC up, Britain's got getting another TC up. Britain TCs are cheaper on the wood front, not on the stone front though, so that might have to be corrected for sometimes. I mean, I don't love these TCs from BoesBoes. Like on the wood again, I would definitely like a TC here, delete this mining camp, TC all these resources, that'd be much safer than having to get double wood TC. It's just not very efficient for your economy wise. Crossbows in, elite skirm is in. It's not a bad comp, not enough crossbows to make a difference though. I don't think it's the right time to push. Monk is probably the best answer. Yeah, don't need the siege. You're against a knight play. Monk, I think the monastery should come first personally. I know you can't afford monks, but you can't afford mangonels either. Monastery should come first. Well, from what I hear, personally, I don't do very much in the way of forward buildings like this, but yeah. Against the horses, you make the monastery will come first. Against archers, the siege archers come first. That's what I've just been told as the things to do. The archer number's okay. It's getting some things. Not bad choke points with these baobab trees, but knights are trying to get round. I couldn't quite outrun. Too many knights. Oof, GG's called. Yeah, it was such a clinical game by BoesBoes. Marley and Doc made the archery range to anticipate the archers from Lawler. It was scouts. Yeah, scouts got in. The skull wasn't walled in, and then wasn't tower to protect. No dark, basically. So yeah, that's the only thing. Had the docky, very clinical game by BoesBoes. Lawler was very unfortunate. Not really unfortunate. I just thought needed to walk this in here. Otherwise, if you had walled in the goal, had the tower in even anticipation of the scums. You saw the scums, I think, earlier in the match. I can't rewind. I don't have Capture Age Pro, but I think you saw the scums earlier on. If you didn't, then that's fine. There's no point doing. Yeah, there's no real point doing a tower. But if you had seen the scams earlier on, that's always a time to think maybe a tower's a good idea, or even a stable. That works too. Do your own scouts. I know it's expensive to build a stable and take into scout. tech. I say tech. You don't have to do only upgrades, but spend food on scouts isn't the nicest thing to have to do. But when they bring out skirms, it's always either you start mixing your skirms to begin with. But I think Britain archers are so good that you can just sort of rely on archers a bit, and then you don't want to have to idle your archery ranges by making skirms unless you have to, which you did in the end because you did have to. But yeah, interesting map gem. I like the map gem. It's sort of cratery with also water and and a nice safe mine area. But we didn't really see this game go any longer term, so couldn't learn anything more from that. So let's overlay time and get the next game. I can't think of the word. What am I doing? What am I doing in my life? Let's leave the map. That's a good idea. Return to replays and get game 2 on the go. So I was looking at some Discord messages in the chat. Okay, it's game 2. Hiding things from myself. Land Madness is the map. Let's blur my eyes. That's how I don't see, but I just blur my eyes so I can't actually see. Okay, Land Madness is 2. Lawler's home map. Land Madness is a scout map, a scouting map. So, what does Lawler have? Why did Lawler go for this home map? What do they have? They have Turks. They have Turks and Turks, which is sorry. No, it's just like scouts into CA. It's so strong this map. So that's why Turks jump out at me. But any cav civ works. Teutons, Lith. Teuton's not great because you don't get husbandry, so they can't even be speedy. But anything cavalry works in this map. Teutons, Lith. But Lith have cavalry archers, I believe. So that works too. Bohemians, they get things. I haven't actually played with Bohemians like very much at all, so I have no idea what units they get. Let's have a look what the Bohemians tech tree is like. Bohemian tech tree. They do not get cav archer. So they don't get many things. They don't get. Okay, Bohemians are not a cavalry civ. Lesson learned. So, yeah, Turks is probably my strongest thing I would think for Land Madness. Free Hussar, free light cav, extra gold miners working fast is always good for this map because gold is there's lots of gold, but it's all in lots of different places. So getting as much as you can from the gold mines that are close to you is really useful. So I like Turks. BoesBoes. But I can see why you went for this as your home map, Lawler. BoesBoes doesn't have any like standout Land Madnesses. Japanese have good cav archers. You sort of want to. Bulgarians have cav archers. Bulgarians may be the best chance because Conics are such a good unit and they are cavalry based. You just want something fast and then things that can shoot over. So you don't really want to go full archers because they're so immobile. You want to be moving from place to place. So you sort of want like good cav archer things. So that's why Bulgarians, Japanese, my two sort of inklings. What's BoesBoes' home map? Monaco. Japanese is a good Monaco map, so yeah. So maybe lean towards Bulgarians here. So let's undo the overlay and have a look what we have. Burmese and Teutons. Okay, I was completely wrong. Burmese Teutons. Interesting. I mean, you're both in the chat here potentially. Do you want to say what were your thinkings with this? With picking Teutons, Lawler, and picking Burmese BoesBoes. So, I mean, Teutons, they get the very powerful, they get cavalry, at least, they get paladin, it's slow paladin, but it's chunky extra armour. You both say they're OP. I mean, Burmese are decidedly not OP, Teutons are decidedly mid-range. I know, Lawler, you love your Teutons. So I can understand why you went for them in the home map, but any reason why on this particular map, though? Like, Burmese I don't know what Burmese get. Do they get cav archer? I don't know if they get. I'm just going to go to my Age of Empires and because then you can see things there. They get cav archer. They do not get any archer armor. They don't get any Castle Age or Imperial Age archer armor. They get Parthian. They don't get thumb ring. They get bloodlines and husbandry, so they get okay cav archers, but they're not very well armored. So yeah, I'm already like I need to change the capture rate. I'm already on capture rate. Apologise if the camera just decides to pan south because I'm trying to change my tabs. Yeah, so yeah, the Burmese did get cav archers. That's always interesting. They get good cavalry. They get mana per cavalry. They're one of their Imperial Age tech, which is gives their cavalry extra attack, which or defense or one of those things. I don't really know Burmese too. I've done the Burmese campaign, and it's like. Yeah, I sort of I'm not sure which civ, but it was the right thing of BoesBoes things for landness, to be honest. So yeah, what's comfortable is good. Like Burmese aren't natural. You want like anything. You want scouted to CA, so Huns, Turks, Tatars. That's your general sort of meta civs, I think, for this map. Anything which has really good. And then you have sort of the really strong, just any civ. I think Spanish could do okay here because they're functionally similar too. I mean, I guess there's no safe stone. That's the problem. Well, I saw map. What was the map I casted yesterday? It was this map yesterday. I casted Mongols versus. Yeah, Mongols. Yes, and obviously that's another great civ. Mongols versus Berbers, two great cavalry archer civs, so to speak, camel archers. So yeah, there's another two standard ones. You get a bit too predictive for BoesBoes. I mean, I don't think Burmese do well against Gujaras, to be honest. But yes, that was my draft. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I saw yesterday it was Mongols, Berbers. That was what I said. So two very strong cavalry and cavalry and mounted archer civs. No Mangudai were seen, to be honest. Mongol player won with siege ram. Hussar siege ram was the eventual victory. Because Camel Archer is such a good counter. What they do? What was that response? Because I've said a lot of things very supposed. What was that they do in response to? Is it just Burmese do okay at cavalry archery? So here we have some pushing by BoesBoes. Let's think about the map a bit. BoesBoes has extra vills. Oh, Lawler, you lost a vill to a boar. I was too busy talking about the civs. I didn't see that you lost a vill to a boar, and I can't rewind to check it. Any dead bodies anywhere? Okay, get your Jaras. Okay, if I guess having mana per cavalry might do okay-ish against camels and elephants survive against camels. I guess you have things. Yeah, but Lawler lost a vill to a TC. I can't see where lost the vill to a boar. Can't see where that is, but that's sad news. But yeah, so BoesBoes has the eco lead. I'm not sure why it's a whole 2 vill difference though, and either TC times are vaguely the same. Oh, Lawler went early loom as well. So early loom after they lost the vill to the TC or before they lost the vill to the boar, before they lost the vill to a Lawler. The interesting number is you start with this berry bush, which is always a safe way to get food to begin with. So not sure why Lawler didn't eat that. Maybe didn't notice that they have a berry bush. Maybe didn't notice now they got a berry bush, but before they didn't notice that they had a free berry bush, that's how you get the early food. The sheep can't sustain you for that long. If you don't want to accidentally go for boar too early, or you lose a village with the boar. So yeah, that berry bush gives you the extra little 125 food or whatever kickstart that you need before you can start thinking about what to do next with your eco. Sad news for BoesBoes sheep vills because they're having a meal of it. My vills usually do much worse for sheep. But both players want a feudal. Lawler is a lot more on wood. I mean, this map is a game where you want you want to wall in your wood villagers early on and keep them safe. So you always end up with tons of wood. It's definitely a game where you want to build markets like ASAP. It's a game where market is often it should be one of your early builds because you're always handing out so much wood. BoesBoes has gone later in wood, a pure scout build, which means that less. I mean, it's probably more safer, but then there's going to be less on wood for when you need it. Now you have to do double lumber camp. That one's different on the right's difficult to wall, and this one's sort of being walled in by one of the other lumberjacks. It's a bit more of a faff to wall, but they are walling. But that's a good job to wall. Lawler has started making one. Their houses have been in lieu of this of any scout playing. So yeah, BoesBoes, not enough wood to build a stable though, that's a problem. You're not going that much on wood, you sort of need, spending a lot of wood, spending 100 wood and a lot of time to build this lumber camp means you haven't had enough wood to get stable. Luckily Burmese get great wood eco, get free double bit axe, they get free all their wood upgrades are free, so I mean it works in the end, but yeah, not quite as quick to get a stable out. Well, Lawler will get a stable out as soon as possible. But the 3-vil stable versus the 1-vil stable, I always think it's good to get buildings down quickly, 2 vils on it. So in the end, roughly the same time. But yeah, but some scouts coming out now. Some scouts will come out. Spearmen, Lawlers recognise that they're second to feudal age. Might be thinking if BoesBoes had a really fluid transition into building stables, some scouts should be coming here by now. So yeah, get some spears on the field is a good idea. Both players anyway. Spear on the berries. Spear when gold comes in. Spear if the wood line isn't walled in, and then double up for like. You probably need like 1 spear for every 3 scouts. If 6 scouts start appearing, you probably need 2 or roughly, maybe like 1 spear for every 2 scouts, and then double up from there. I think it's probably a sensible ratio when you're doing going for spear defense. Of an engagement, the 2 scouts have been seen. A lot of scouts somehow, luckily, survived, because it's always good to have the scout alive, especially when you're doing scout play yourself. We have an archery range follow up. Archery range useful. I mean, I don't know. Archery range is probably not too called for yet, BoesBoes, because you haven't seen their wood line. You haven't seen they have actually walled in yet. These scouts will do actually quite a good damage. You're sort of anticipating things before they happen. I mean, I imagine things will be walled. Obviously, you see spearmen and archers do well against spearmen, but archers are very good at picking off some bill kills. But I think you didn't finish your scouting. You sort of worked out where the TC is, worked out where the berries were, but no idea where the wood has been taken. Lawler scouting's worse, hasn't even scouted where BoesBoes, it just assumes they're in this direction based on vibes. But Lawler's reinforcements gets a bit picked off. Fairly even military-wise. Obviously, Lawler's got so many more spears, but play much more defensively, much more. I mean, I like to play defensively. I do better when I play defensively. So there's these 3 spears on the wood line is enough that you don't actually need to wall it in, which means any archer play from this one archer is difficult to. It'd be less punishing because you can just run away. But yeah, you need a spear here, BoesBoes. You need a spear for every unavailable resource you're taking far away, because these goblins will die to spears. Sorry, they'll die to scouts. That's really, I mean, I'm not an expert at this map. That's what I've just seen people do. Okay, scouts have come in. Spears a bit out of position, but they were able to protect. No vills died. Bit shaky, but now this has been rewalled. Spears are now in a decent place. These scouts can do no real damage. Spears are patrolling around the mill. And then when other spears come in, I think Lawler should be going in gold. Definitely building a marker with that many woods. You should really be markets. Gold mine come in. Spear should be around here to defend. Yep, spear comes in to defend. Couldn't do it better myself, and I probably wouldn't do it better myself. I actually died in my landmine game in my round 3. Got obliterated. I would definitely recommend another spear here. 5 scouts, 2 spears. I mean, there's 2 back here, so that should be fine. So yeah. On the board where this engagement can be taken, but then yeah, there's always going to be more on the back. I mean, fletchings come in, more archers are coming in, but BoesBoes had a bit of a gold problem earlier, didn't quite transition to the gold economy before pushing to the archer economy. Archers will do well against the spears. The answer, Lawler needs their own scouts again. Market, you love to see it, you love to see a market, but Lawler's almost up to castle age. That's a danger. That's a risky vill. That's a dead vill. 100% dead. Okay, it's not dead. Come back. I don't know why you wanted after for the archers are coming in now. It's not a good. BoesBoes needs another scout. Don't know where BoesBoes' scout is. Okay, it's auto scouting at the back. Yeah, just spears defense doesn't work when there's archers on the field, and spears just don't do any damage against archers. 2 spears die, berry villagers are under threat. These are fletching archers. 1 vill may die, not paying attention either. These vills are just sort of wandering around. Spearmen are just running in, also on their own attack stance. 1 spearman will die if any luck. But we have Lawler to Castle Age. So we have things happening. Lawler's up, and but there's 5 idle farms, idle berries. Market's going to die in about 6 years after those scouts have their way with it. So it's very much waiting and seeing. And our BoesBoes has also been able to get the eco sorted, stop making any military, got the Castle Age. Got the Castle Age before doing a market, which is interesting. That's a hole. That is indeed a hole. These scouts could destroy that. There's not enough spears here to defend against all those scouts and archers and spears. But BoesBoes, your scouting hasn't... I mean, you know, they knew there was a hole, so definitely that's where should you be going. You are going. There's so many wood vills here. And they're so efficient. You don't need to have so many walls on wood. You've got 600 wood, Lawler. You can stop it at this point. Okay, the spearman is holding the line, dying from the archers. That spearman's run forward. There's a surround of the archers. Spearmen are going taken down, but there's not enough. There's cavalry armour in for Lawler in lieu of making knights, but there's just not enough things. And now these panic houses are coming. It should be fine. That vill's going to die. Okay, everything's walled in. Everything's walled in for the archers to take pot shots. Now there's TC just fits. I mean, I love a TC here. It's where you should put a TC. Probably not the best idea when you're getting fired upon by archers and your vills don't quite know which direction to move to be able to build. Okay, delete the back thing. So this one archer is going to be annoying. This one archer is going to be annoying, but in the end, they probably won't kill a vill. But I don't think the TC is going to be up first. Knights are out on the field though. We have some Teuton knights. Archers die. Woodville saved. Could be worse. Could be much worse. So could be like last game. So Lawler's learned their lesson from last game and how to protect vills and how to wall in vills. We have some knights, 3 knights, but on both sides. In that time, BoesBoes was also able to get some knights on the field. Lawler's knights are stronger. They got forging. They got armor. They've got Teuton attack bonus. That's why they're +2. They're +2 rather than +1 attack. They got bloodlines. Both players have got bloodlines. I don't know if BoesBoes has gone for husbandry yet. I don't think so. If you have got a husbandry, let me know. I'm not the best at seeing everything. But obviously Teutons do not get husbandry. So what do you see? We see lots of TCs. TCs to protect resources. Farms that can be idled by accident. I think this scout is auto-scouting at this point. Okay, knights here. Knights are dying to the TC. Might be quite an uneventful Castle Age. That's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting an uneventful Castle Age. Both players are quite far away from each other. No one's doing any forward vills. No one's putting any real monks. Which Burmese should really do. They've got great monks. That's why I think maybe monastery is the right call here for BoesBoes. I mean, they got more knights though, so like the ball's definitely in BoesBoes' court. But there's all these TCs around that it's going to take a while before anything interesting happens. That's my view. It's going to take. Lawler's got terrible eco, making vills out of way too many TCs. You got the TCs to protect your resources, so you don't have to keep pumping out from them. I know you're going to get idle time, but yeah, your TCs are out of protection. What I would like to see is some castles just in general on this map. It's so difficult to get stone, so if you get a castle earlier, it's going to help your life. TC this stone and castle this stone at some point. That's going to be my advice to BoesBoes. And if Lawler has a safe stone, then the mine in the back, that's ideal. We have an engagement here. Lawler's knight's going to die. BoesBoes has so many knights on the field. Honestly, this is the time to move forward. You have these knights. You have all these spears. Keep the spears at home if you so insist. You have enough knights to make a real difference. You don't know that Lawler's economy is not really supportive of making knights. But you know that was only 3 knights. If Lawler had more knights, he probably would have sent them. So yeah, BoesBoes is moving forwards. Right thing to do, move forwards. And still not actually, no one's got +2 armor yet, so these knights can't quite eat TCs. Especially, they definitely can't eat Teuton TCs because they have the extra garrisons. Okay, walks around the market. Not sure what they're wandering to. I think they're just sort of working out where to go. Oh, this engagement, this could be destroyed if BoesBoes knows, and that TC is very risky to place there. Those spearmen are not doing anything. TC dying, TC getting some shots out, spearmen dying. Problem is, you can just keep moving from TC to TC, idle all the eco. It's so difficult, so annoying, so difficult to keep unidling your TC. BoesBoes, if you're in, if you let me know any thoughts you're having. Yeah, these knights just run right past all these market millvilles and the stone villagers, so no more eco kills there. Struggling to find worth. All these TCs have been very annoying, but I think you just have to commit. That's what I was thinking, that this game is going to be very boring in Castle Age, because none of the armies are really wanting to really dive. No one's got enough knight numbers in one place to eat a TC yet. No one's got +2 armor. But BoesBoes is only just getting foraging. It's just not going to be a particularly aggressive. It's just going to be very cat and mouse sort of style. Obviously, Lawler with these almost 6 TCs has the eco lead, and it's just about it. It's in a position where you're probably going to start affording. You're going to 29 vote. That's enough to produce from 4 TCs. 60 is enough to produce from 5 TCs, but obviously you have to mix in stable production in that. Oh, a Vil goes down. 2 Vils go down. We're getting some action. Lawler's getting burn up stone for a castle, which I do like to see. More BoesBoes knights. I think you should really link the knights up at this point. Your knights are quite weak. Definitely sort of bring all your 25 knights into one place. I know it's fun to do lots of little mini raids, but you're scared by TCs, and if you have 26 knights there, you're forcing these 9 Lawler knights to engage. Bring all the knights together. Okay, I'm terrified of that. So, and Lawler's standing there with stone though. I think, was that arson cancelled in the end? I can't remember. I think that was a hotkey issue maybe. I don't really know. Because if you're selling the stone, you're not going for 2 tonic knights, you're not making any more barracks or anything, so I'm not sure what that arson was for. But yeah, there's a monk in there. I would like to see more monks, get some people aggressive. Burmese have great monks. Cheaper tech, I think it's cheaper techs. Cheaper monk techs. Okay, yep, love it. All these knights are in one place, close to getting Imperial Age, charge. I mean, if you want to go to him, that's fine too, but every time you're making, Lawler is pumping out vills. Every time you make him one more, every time Lawler makes another vill, it's going to be more and more difficult to do things with it. Lawler's knights come in. There's enough of them. There's some of them now. Not enough to eat a TC. All the vills hide. They run away. They see the knights. They see the spearmen. Lawler, that's the knight that sends a flare. Some of those knights died. 2 knights, I think, died there. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it was only just 12 knights, and just like 2 of them were at home. But they're weakened knights. They can't do that. They can't keep doing that. Husbandry come in. That's very handy. Tutors do not get husbandry. Always get the bonuses. If you're doing a night war, try and be the better knights. On the other hand, chain bardings come in for Teutons. Pikes coming in for BoesBoes. Yes, okay, I would like to see Imp. Yeah, there's Imp. So Pike Imp, that works. I guess I had to wait for the second building. That's why it took so long to go to Imp. Oh, there's enough stone for a castle. Where is this castle? That's way too off. That's way too up front. You've just seen 25 or so Burmese knights. I don't think it's the right time. I don't think it's the best place for a castle. It might, if it works, it'll be amazing. I think it might work because, okay, it cancels the castle. Not sure why the castle's been cancelled. Jeez, that's even worse. Lawler, what are you doing? Yeah, cancelled that one. Then you just give them a sign you're building a forward castle. Now you can have 28 Burmese knights just charge you to death. Okay, you're still committing to that castle location. Yeah, then with the best place, the second best place was here. The best place, the worst place was here. The best place was like on this hill defensively. If you're thinking about going Teutonic, massive engagement here. Burmese are winning ever so slightly, but Teuton's got better armour. Teuton's got iron castings coming in there. BoesBoes is close to the front. I think BoesBoes is going to win this engagement. Lawler's trickling things in, but that's it's too little, too late. Okay, it's not too little, too late. Lawler's winning. I was wrong. Lawler wins. I think it's the +2 armor and the +1 and the +1 attack from just being Teutons. That's a bit too risky now. Stop it, Lawler. There's stables there and everything. But if you were really into it, go back here. I mean, sure, you have the advantage. I think it's going to be monks. You need monks. Get a monk in play. Imperials come in. Lawler's taking the fight because it's probably the right thing to do when it comes in. Can't afford Cavalier. Sell some food. Can't afford farms. Doesn't have any on wood. That's probably why. Very unfortunate for BoesBoes. Yeah, that castle wasn't completed. Do you know why it wasn't completed? Because it was over a stable. Hi Belgian, how are you? Counter one castle being built with 9 villas. Castle being built with a lot more, probably. But Teuton castles are better than Burmese castles. Big engagement here. Lawler's winning this. And when Lawler wins this castle's going to be dead. Well, a lot of us are going to die. Somehow Lawler scraped through here by being more and more brazen. I think it's just the upgrade, to be honest. Just chain barding, sorry, is always the right thing to go for. Garrison the vills, garrison. You tried a garrison, you accidentally repaired them. What are the vills doing? They're just wanting to build one farm. I know you don't have murder holes yet, but now there's a town bell. That rare 1300 ELO town bell. It's not even like a town bell to drop resources, it's a full on, oh my god, I'm dying town bell. So many knights are coming. 16 in queue, 60 on the field. It might be the time to build more stables at that point. If you're queuing 6 knights a stable, forward stables here, you don't just ignore the stone, build a stable. I know you can't really afford stables, but it's better than having to wait for your knights to do things. Castle formation here, not sure what it's doing, but then half of BoesBoes is in a town bell, so town bell's been rung. I don't say unrung because that's grammatically incorrect to say unrung. I saw a petard. I don't know why I saw a petard. It didn't work. Treb's coming in. I mean, Burmese Treb, you're 2-3 minutes. That's going to be a lot of damage to this castle. Probably wise to do some university upgrades. You don't have a university. Probably wise to cry and die to Trebs. But BoesBoes needs more Trebs. You need more than 1. You need 2. But you have no on wood. You have no on food. It's not looking good. 17 knights, 15 at the front. Only 4 knights, 4 on queue. This Treb's doing nothing. Okay, it's getting there. It's 2 minutes to limp. I don't think this castle's going down. Actually, it might. Well, I don't know. There's enough knights to rush this. That's the problem. And BoesBoes' economy is terrible there. BoesBoes had a chance to really push and do some forward pressure themselves. While Lawler was hiding behind TCs and booming, and now Lawler has the 25 eco lead. Lawler's repairing. This castle's not going down. 1 Treb cannot. I mean, just commit, to be honest. If this castle goes, I mean, I guess you don't really have to, you can just let the castle die, to be honest. You have 24 knights. I wouldn't like it to die, because where are you going to get the elite knights, Lawler? Answer me this. Where are the ETKs? They're not coming out of this castle. You researched Arsenal like a lifetime ago, or tried to research Arsenal a lifetime ago. I don't know if you cancelled or not. Let's see some Teutonic Knights on the field. Okay, Imperial Age. Still only one treb, 2 castles but 1 treb for BoesBoes. Lots of wood now, but no gold. BoesBoes needs vills. Yeah, but it's getting there. Trying to get some, I wouldn't say reboom because it didn't really lose much, but just trying to get an equivalent boom. Lawler's very house on that castle drop, but these knights, not enough knights to engage. Even if Cavalier comes in, it's not enough. Lawler's going all in knights, can actually afford Cavalier though, but still out of these 3 stables. Build more stables, please. You're queuing 8 knights a stable pretty much. 7 knights a stable. Okay, Cavalier's coming in this back one. You're pretty much queuing 8 knights a stable, Lawler. That's a sign you knights might need something. You also got none on wood. Neither players got anything on wood. Forward stable, yes, love to see it. If Cavalier comes in, for Lawler anyway, then these knights are now +4 attack. And you can still get Blast Furnace. Mana per cavalry is going to be the saving grace. BoesBoes needs to save it for mana per. And BoesBoes is, I think, still here, so yeah. Get mana. Just try and save it for mana per. That is your saving grace against Teutons. You know that they're going to have naturally stronger cavalry. I can't remember what mana per cavalry does, but it's good. Let's go on Age of Let's go on the actual game. Mana per cavalry. +5 attack versus archers. Okay, it's not as good as I thought. I thought it was just plus attack. That's a shame. I thought it was better than that. Okay, I don't know what you do. Elephants. That's the answer to Cavalier to Teutonic Paladin is elephants. Unfortunately, it's how do elephants. I know it's sad because you're not making elephants, but that's the answer. Pike is not the answer. I mean, you're getting Haub. I mean, Haub will do a lot of damage, but I really like to see some chunks. That will force Lawler into their own Haub, their own monks. Okay, monks are coming. So yeah, they're coming anyway. So what do we have here? We have 47 Teutonic, almost Cavalier, fully upgraded, +5 attack, +4 armor. Sorry, +4 attack, +5 melee, +5 whatever. That's the thing. That's what took together. Plus extra melee armor. I thought it was extra attack, but I can't read numbers correctly. Versus 33 Burmese Cavalier, almost fully upgraded, not got the last armor. Getting the last armor, but Paladin comes in first. But then there's also 16 Haub on the field, which I like. But they're unarmored Haub. I don't know what's going to win this. This is going to be the engagement to decide the match. Things are. I saw that Castle was going to be a bit uninteresting. Now we have the interesting part. We have. Okay, that's very late to take into Haub. Okay, the monks are going to be annoying, very annoying. An engagement happens. The monks is forced to engagement. Let's do a big circle. I know some of the videos. So much, that's so much HP, 10k HP. Fully, it's with extra armor. And equivalent otherwise. The only benefit is that the Burmese are faster to die as well, unfortunately. I think it's over. The Cavalier numbers dropping aren't anything. Going mass Haub in return. Trebs are also trying to come in and do some damage. Half the Cavalier HP survived. Sorry, half the Paladin number survived. Just gonna run. You can eat. I think you can eat TCs with this. I think you can eat TCs. I don't think the town base not do anything. Just attack, move your way through the base. There's nothing really that Lawler can do. Nothing that BoesBoes can do, and the GG is called. Another interesting match. I mean, Lawler likes Teutons, and they worked. BoesBoes, yeah, you don't really have many good Land Madness Civ, so I can see why you sort of have some issues with this. You didn't draft a Land Madness Civ. that is an issue. Teutons are OP. But yeah, I think your answer with Burmese would be elephants, unfortunately. Because you get the extra armor for how the elephants naturally counter cavalry, and then if you get some monks, any elephants that get converted, you could try and convert. I know it's Teutons; it's going to be difficult to convert, but elephants are something which you don't mind if they convert it because they're so slow. By the time they walk back to you, they can convert it back. That's the only thing I could think of. Building some chonks. Yeah, you had a chance to kill early. You were too scared from this TCs. If you had at one point you had 25 knights, and Lawler only had 9. So yeah, if all your knights to eat TCs one by one, force an engagement, that would have been over. I mean, would have been much harder. You'd be forced so much eco idle time from all these town bells had to be ring ding and garrisoned, and whilst that bring the Villefort to be the siege workshop. Your eco wasn't great, BoesBoes. You didn't have enough on wood. I know it's landman. It's landman. You should something you have a default. You have lots of wood, but yeah, you ran out of wood at the wrong times. Lawler, yeah, didn't have the great feudal. Lost a bit. Didn't lose that many vills. It was messy for my Lawler, but it saved. Like I only lost 1 vill to the attack. I lost 1 vill to the boar in Dark Age, and lost 1 vill due to BoesBoes' attack. So very well managed situation for this game, and that's probably the difference between this one and the last one. Last one lost, I think, 7 vills in feudal to BoesBoes' 2. So yeah, it's a good game. 1-1. Oh, I can do this. 1-1. I forgot about that. 1-1. Time for game 3. Let's bring some overlays. This is now Monaco. I know that much. It's Monaco. BoesBoes' home match. So let's obscure my vision and get game 3 on the go. BoesBoes BoesBoes likes Monaco, I believe. And Japanese is the perfect Monaco civ. I know that much. I've seen enough Japanese Monaco civs. So I don't have to really question what BoesBoes are going. They're top civ Japanese, one of the best Monaco civs. So yeah, Lawler options for Monaco. Vikings could work. Lithuanians are a strong civ, and if you know that BoesBoes are going Japanese, what's your Japanese counter? Well, it's Britons, but you've already used those. So it's Bohemians or Turks. Gunpowder annoys Japanese very, very much. So I think this is for the options. If you know that BoesBoes are going Japanese, it's going to be Turks and Bohemians. I think is going to be the vibes. That's just my feelings. I'm sure some people in the chat might think I'm very wrong, and I could well be very wrong. But that's just sort of my vibes when you. I know that BoesBoes are going Japanese because it's their top civ and it's the perfect for Monaco and it's their home map. So that's 3 things all wrapped into one neat little package. So, Lawler, if you want to say like what were your vibes coming into this set? What did you think that BoesBoes was going for before I reveal what civ you've picked? Or what civs you were thinking for Monaco? Because you've done Teutons, you've done Britons. Teutons obviously don't recommend they get Japanese. Did you know that BoesBoes was going to go Japanese? Because I sort of know because obviously when you load a rec, you hear one of the civs musics, and I heard the Japanese music or Chinese music. But did you? I think it's going to be Japanese. I heard the East Asian music start. So yeah, if it's Japanese is definitely what I'm vibing towards for BoesBoes. Yeah, but Laura, did you think they were going? Did you think BoesBoes was going Japanese? Did you bring the perfect? Did you think you brought the perfect counter to Japanese, or did you forget that? And I will start, and I will now reveal the civs. It's Japanese Burgundians. Okay. Okay, cavalry is not the best. Is not the best option in this map. It's good, but the start is not a scout rush. It's not really scout-like cav game actually. It's a man-at-arms archer game, because you can just defend with spears like you did in the last game. You could defend with spears so well that. Yep. That is sort of the more cavalry archer. It's sort of the more cav archer aspects. So Turks is good for the. I mean, scout work, and Turks are the best scouts. Well, best scout line in the game. So that works, but you can just a couple of spears defend this quite well. So and Japanese are such an infantry dominated civ that scouts struggle to find use. So Turks maybe it's more for the cav archer aspect, and gunpowder aspects. I think more so. than their scout aspect. I think is why maybe Turks is more vibing on Monaco. I don't know if obviously Jordan's a very good player, so if they said for the scout stuff, then fair dues. I'm sure at higher elo you can really make your scouts work. I've just seen, like, I've been told, like, man at arms. Well, I tried scout. I in my first set I picked Tatars here for the scout stuff, and because of the hills, to be honest. And well, I didn't quite vibe. I think you need to go more archer. In team games, flanks do really well here for archer play. So, and I won my set. I won my second draft playing Aztecs, going into Archer Eagle play. So yeah, but yeah, Japanese you think is coming, so you want to bring a good Japanese counter. Burgundians are not bad at countering Japanese. We'll start the game because they have good. They got good gunpowder. They got gunpowder bonus, which is always good against if Japanese start to go more infantry later, and quick easy cavalier is really good against any archer play that Japanese will go into. Yeah, so Japanese, the vibes here is man at arms into archers, mix lots of archers. Maybe go cav archers if you want to be a bit more mobile, because Japanese still get good cav archers. I think they get fully rated cav archers in Castle Age, but I don't know if they're missing some things in Imperial Age. I don't think they're even missing anything. I think maybe they're missing one of them in a Parthian or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, Japanese is a very strong. You can be very versatile on this type of map with Japanese. You know, the eco bonus of faster working fishing ships doesn't help, but the cheaper eco buildings is very helpful as well for a nice start. Cheaper mills. It's a map where you have to keep moving your mill from place to place, so having that half price is very handy. Burgundians, cheaper eco upgrades in general. That's always that's good on every map. Okay, we have some scout things. Lawler scout running to TC. Lawler scouts get a bit hit. BoesBoes scout's going to chase. No lames yet. There's a chance that this board could be hella lame. This is BoesBoes' board alongside of a wood line. Yep, we're going to see the lame. BoesBoes should be able to see this. This board's running. He's seen it. He's running. Even if he does find this and chase it, because obviously BoesBoes scout's going to move faster because Lawler's running out of the board's range of sight, and also this board could be laned back. But I think Lawler's going to be successful in this lane. But I think BoesBoes is going to get one in return, and yep, they do. And Lawler can't fight this because the scout's too weak to engage. So a lane for a lame. Oh my God, BoesBoes! What were you spending your micro on? Oh, on your own baller. Oh no! That's so sad. It's very rare I've seen a scout lost to the ball. I haven't seen that when I've been casting any of these games. And now just Lawler comes, thanks very much, I'll have this ball now. So, yeah, glorious. Trying to lure a ball with villains while trying to lure a ball with a scout. I guess you could do waypoints at that point. You could do little waypoints, because that means it might slow you down at quick enough pace, if you ever happen to try and do the APM for that. Yeah, you have enough. I mean, you could always get it later, potentially. You could always wait for your ball to come in and get it a couple of seconds later, because you know that Lawler's dealt with the one that they lamed you for. That could be the potential of that, but yeah, it's always going to be difficult. I would definitely not have the APM to try and do both. So I'm thinking like maybe waypoints, maybe just little waypoints back home enough so that you can do it. Or waypoints for your Boardville, lure that one and just shoot down with your and just sort of ignore the ball you're trying to take under your TC and focus on the lane first. But yeah, Lawler has a scout. It's a weak scout. It's not going to do any damage whatsoever. No loom yet, but I think at HP it still can't kill a Vil. As long as the Vil reacts quick enough. Lawler has gone loom. Didn't need to in the end because the scout did all the work, or the scout did all the heavy lifting for the boar, pretty much. Okay, that's what I don't like to see that though. Mill the fish first. Fish. Even for Franks, berries is slower than fish. Get the fish mill first. I know you have millions of boars, so you're not going to have that much fish. You've got 3 boars to things, so you don't need the fish eco. But yeah, mill up here first. Mill it here always. That's when you get to feudal. The berry mill is when you get to feudal age, pretty much, and you're sort of a bit worried about any pressure that might come. But let's think about tactics. Barracks got deleted. That's unfortunate. You're sort of wasting your wood on the barracks, which is, I guess you're sort of. I guess you thought it was a better position, but that's a. An unfortunate for that round because now you're delaying your man at arms. But Loom is in, I think. Yeah, that should be Loom. Gold's on. Man at arms is coming. Maybe come back on track. Lost a ball, but I think should have got the fish eco. Got so much on fish. Double mill. I think you're in a good place to go back on your original strat. Lawler, yeah, Lawler is not. Yeah, never played Monaco yet. Yeah, yeah. I mean, sort of. Yeah, it's something you don't really know until you sort of. I think I watched the show game. I think I watched a show game from on Monaco that Zark hosted. To know that for my Monaco games you have to milk the fish first, and my very first set in this match was Monaco, and yeah, mill the thing. Yeah, Belgium called it Annihilate. I saw that match. I saw the cast of that match, and yeah, I think Blue did it, and yeah, I did see that Belgium annihilated me as well. So we're in good company, Lawler. We're in good company. Not on Monaco though, but okay. You want to back close to the fish. Yeah, I mean, it's more like why did you delete the one here, and then why did you rebuild it here? That's sort of what the vibes was. It's sort of unfortunate you deleted ranks when it was also being half built as well. So that's always a bit of an unfortunate wood loss. Okay, we have Feudal coming in for Japanese first. Could just about afford man at arms when that comes. Lawler, well, man at arms aren't going to do much because you're using man at arms on this map is because of the Millvilles, and because there aren't any Millvilles, they're not going to do much damage. So we have the forward archery range sort of. I always forget to do the forward. I always do a back archery range. So yeah, that's the going to go into archer pressure for the mill, but obviously because BoesBoes lost their scout to the boar, no idea what's been done, no idea that there's no fish being taken. I'm probably be quite surprised when they see the fish being taken. So yeah, these men at arms. I mean, not even men at arms yet. Didn't even buy the upgrade. I guess there's no need to if you don't see anything. Okay, it's now it's coming. No, nothing on fish. What are you gonna do now? I guess you can go to the mill, go to the berry mill. Like, what's going through your head here, BoesBoes? Like, what's happening? Where's the mill? Where's the fish mill? Walking around half the map to find it. Like at this point, you can assume that it's not being milled. I thought this one was going to be BoesBoes going to mill Lawler's fish for a second. Okay, Lawler's got a very clean, sort of standard, non-monocle build, I would say. Okay, the scouts here. There's no spears yet. Well, there are the spears, but they're not. I mean, this scout's not going to do any damage per se. It's just going to be very annoying. But yeah, I know you wanted the spears out for the fish, BoesBoes, but you didn't make any spears out for the fish. Some scouts are coming. They're taking the shortcut. The spears are just good to get just in time. One spear's enough to deal with 2.5 scouts. So okay, that's fine. What's up here? Archer's going to take it down a TC. That scout dies. This scout doesn't know what to do because Lawler's probably panicking over here. Man at arms, Archer comes in, not reacting, waiting for the last time to garrison. Nope. Oh, yep. I mean, it's a good lure. It's a good lure of this defense of the thing. Kill the man at arms and the archer, but unfortunately all the scouts die. That's why scout doesn't work on this map very well, because one spear stops it. It's just like in your land madness game. The spears stop scout play. So yeah, that's the same reason as why you won in land madness, because spears stopped any scout play there, and then BoesBoes went archers to do the thing. Scouts don't do that much damage here, but then BoesBoes has done the card instead of over chopping. There's an over chop here. BoesBoes really hasn't realised. No idea where this is coming from. This village just wandering to its death. Maybe it's knowing its home, but there's no. And now BoesBoes realises, gets a garrison, but now the scouts are also. Scouts came. Lawler reacts to the scouts being shot, doesn't take any damage. But all the BoesBoes' villas are idle. All of anything that's not on food is pretty much idle at this point. So scout play got lucky with the overchop, but yeah, otherwise scout play does not work. If there's a successfully walled in, the scouts do not. It's difficult to do anything. But now scouts are permanently in the base. So if it works, it works. Let's link eco upgrades, but we're going to get them an age earlier, so might be both swords always something, and they're also cheaper, half price food wise, I think. So yeah, or maybe half price over, something like that, roughly that. So some upgrades are in. Horse collar, bit axe, nice farm in eco, but there's a lot of army here for BoesBoes, and that farm is not safe. Not even got for any fish yet, but then the fish is very much being. I don't think you can safely, I would say safely fish the fish anymore, because well, all these houses are there. No eco kills yet, but this army's very much in. There's some spears in here, so these scouts aren't going to do much damage. Trying to wall them into a corner, which you don't really want to wall them into a corner because it's an archer-based army with spears on the front line, so all these scouts are going to die. It's very sad. No vil kills yet for BoesBoes, but half the wood eco is being idled. Maybe all the wood eco, and all the scouts are being cleared. This is just why scouts aren't the major play here. Spears these are sort of like crater bases, very easy to wall. You haven't gone even for full walls, you've gone for very small walls. You could easily wall these wood lines rather than sort of trying to wall around your resources. But yeah, this is just down to like not 100% sure on Monocle, and BoesBoes favours Monocle. Okay, the spears are out of position. You can get some clears on the man at arms. Spears are coming in, on the archers as well. Best answer to, archery range should come in for Lawler at some point. Spear defense, 6 spear. That's the most thing that BoesBoes is making or having. Eco is very good for BoesBoes. Need to market to buy the way to. I mean, I think the time it takes to get the wood to build a market and then get to market, I think you have enough food to age up potentially. I know you haven't got that much on food though, so. The scout play has been very annoying anyway. There aren't quite enough spears, and the spears have been dragged out. Imagine they're on aggressive stance and they're being dragged out of place. They've been dragged out a bit too much, and they've been used to guard the archers rather than guard the vils, and there's no spears up here. It's quite a messy game for BoesBoes. Losing 2 more vils at the fish, these spears, and what are they doing? Lawler's definitely better with the spears, and in the Land Madness you can see how good Lawler with their spears, patrolling them around, weren't drifting them too far. BoesBoes isn't the best spear micro in the world, it seems. Spears trying to draw into attack. There's enough spears to deal with this, just about. But the pathing. But now there's more spears. Like scouts are going to loop round. The vils come back to the fish or idle. But Castle Age got there in the end. Got to Castle Age. Thinking about rewalling these houses, can definitely afford to start thinking about more rewalls now the woods come back in. Gone for a barracks, no market yet. I would have probably recommended going for a market rather than a second barracks. But a second barracks that isn't being built. It's always a good idea for market. You've got so much gold, you're not making any gold units. What are you going to make? Cav archers next, so another archery range, or market, just to help you in the thing. But I don't know why you went going for a barracks when you don't really get. I don't see barracks solving anything, to be honest. Scouts are back in again. The same scouts from above. Spears are nowhere in position. Sad times. Another vil dies. Wood eco gets isolated, and Lawler's up to Castle Age. Bought their way, I think. Yeah, that's not an even spread. Bought their way up to Castle. And now the scouts are coming back in again. The fish, lots of weak vils here. Spears aren't in position. A vil dies. It's the same story over and over again, unfortunately for BoesBoes. I can see why Lawler likes Burgundians. The scout play is doing work. Longswords. I mean, I guess that the barracks are coming. Longswords are coming. I don't like vibe with that decision, personally. Like when knights come in, knights beat longswords. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Like you don't really bring longswords when the opponent's really going like full pike, and you don't really want to go archers. So I'm not sort of. Longswords aren't very good. I saw a Tom Snuffles, if he ever watches this, be like, "Oh my God, swords are coming! Yay for swords!" I just don't personally think it's a great decision unless you're like Malians. That's just the only thing. The only thing I would ever consider like going for like hard longsword is something like Marlians or Celts or something. I mean, Celts have the infantry unique unit, don't really need longswords. So we have immediate Cavalier. Probably a bit early for Cavalier in my opinion. I think it's always good to get like 4 or 5 knights out first and then go for the Cavalier, especially when you aren't mining gold. But I like the TCs. I do like the TCs. BoesBoes is not going for TCs. Probably should as well. It's where the safe resources outside of the monocle is. I forgot that in my first game. That there's a lot of safe resources behind, but because your scout died, you haven't scouted any of them. I guess you got this back base here. Oh, you've got a market back there. I didn't realize you had a market over here earlier. But also, neither players really scouted the back of their own base to find the stone, because the stone doesn't exist in the centre of the monocle, stone doesn't exist on the outside, so not working out what the stone is hurtful, especially for Burgundians, because Burgundian vineyards, Custier are really good units, really good options for Burgundians. Japanese don't need to go samurai, there's not yet anyway, so I can see why Japanese aren't going for castles. You don't need Yasuma, you don't need Katabaruto anytime. Well, you're not going for it, you don't need Yasuma. You're not going for... I mean, I do like Cavaliers on the field. They've been very annoying and very useful, and they're getting lots of Vil kills. 2 more, I think. And this army isn't very strong. Feudal archers, no fletching, no padded archer, no forging long swords, no scale. Well, scalewares coming in, but apart from that, Japanese just get faster attacking infantry. They don't get particularly powerful infantry. They don't get extra pierce, they don't get extra armour. So TCs, TCs are just gonna hurt. Mangonel, I mean, against this comp you don't know that it's gonna fall long swords. Obviously Scorpion's probably the more close play, but Siege is always good. It's something I always forget to do myself. That's the thing, you haven't got any TCs, your Vils are doing some weird circles, they're just wandering around. The Cavalier might find them. Will they find them? Yes, they're gonna find them. That's 8 Vils dead. That's not a good sign. On the other side, where we have the long swords are coming in, that's still nothing dead. GG, play it gay, okay. Lawler wins. I thought it was going to continue on for longer. I guess in the end, the eco damage is so severe that nothing more. It was a good game. Lawler managed to survive. BoesBoes, I mean, on paper, Lawler was not. With Lawler's play start, it probably shouldn't have worked. Not doing the fish, making scouts when there's lots of spears. But I think Lawler played it so well that it was such a played the scout so well. BoesBoes was always out of position, always kept losing. Yeah, if you didn't wall out, overchopped on a map where you really shouldn't overchop. Didn't wall all these holes out. Yeah, it was GG. Lawler, well played. Yes, spears out of position. I mean, you got all the mills, all the fish eco, but yeah, it's constantly out of position. The army at the front didn't do any job. The archers, obviously, because man-at-arms doesn't work when there's no mill wheels on the opponent. You lost your scout to a boar, which didn't help, which means you have no idea that they weren't milling the water. Yeah, Lawler had a very safe base, but that means I'm very economically slow. So the time to hit, so the response is probably just to focus on brooming yourself. I think that's probably the response. Wait till Lawler has to find their way outside of the monocle, and that's where you do the damage, I think. I mean, your army decretion was fine, it worked. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if you see your armies getting very close and defensive, as you know, that's maybe sort of suits Lawler's. There's no reason to really draft Teutons if you aren't going to go slow and defensive. So yeah, I think the answer was to boom yourself. Go into a full boom. Wait till Lawler runs out of central resources. You have all this pressure down here at the outside. You don't need to. You know if they're coming pretty much. You can focus on maybe some knights of your own, and then you can move to the outside with your own TCs. I'm not sure, like you did the first monocle game. No, died because 10 was to get the middle. Like they just like walk through here. They just like walk to the other base or something. I died my first monocle game because it was a post-imp game pretty much. I died to Frankish paladins, I think, in the end. No, it was Khmer paladins. I died to Khmer paladins or Khmer cavalier or whatever, and I couldn't cope. But yeah, it was. I think if you see they're being defensive, you be defensive in return. I think making so many longswords and archers is probably not going to work out in the end. You're up to Castle Age first. I think the real answer when you go to Castle Age is monk, sea, pike, something, because you know they're going cavalry. You don't really want to go things which die to cavalry like longswords or archers. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Broom out, get going. I think Burgundy's so good late game as well, so you don't really want to have to leave them broom. And the Japanese, I mean, you could tower destroy them. You get Yasama towers. You could just tower defense the game. And I don't know. You could maybe if you towered this entire area, maybe tower feudal tower, put towers everywhere here. Where is Lawler going once they do resources? Once they when their resources runs out, they're pretty screwed. That's where the archers come and garrison the archers and all these towers. Get a castle, get Yasama, get guard tower, what have you. Absolutely, just keep Lawler penned in completely. That could be a way to Japan once you realise that army isn't the way, but obviously that's something you have to plan. I am playing Cosmin next in my game. He has discorded me to say that I am asking me what's happening. So yeah, Belgium's playing BoesBoes, the clash of the Titans. I think you're both. I think you're not quite undefeated because I think Belgium's the only undefeated player. I think it's because it's how it works. Belgium's the only undefeated player. I've got Cosmin. Yeah, Cosmin lost to BoesBoes, I think. So. Well, Cosmin played Bruce, but I can't remember who won out of you and Cosmin. To be honest, I watched it like one of the first things I watched. I know that whoever picked Goths lost against Chinese, I think, and I think Cosmin picked. I think Cosmin put Goths. I just casted Bruce. Yeah, Bruce, you don't have Goths, you have Chinese. I should have realised that. Yeah, Cosmin picked Goths on Le Grand Fossé, which is probably not the wisest decision in the world. Lost about 10 Huskars to the Guy units, and then wondered how he died later. So yeah, it's a good game. That's going to be it for me. I'm going to finish because it was a fairly long-ish. It was a best of 3, which is fairly long. So thanks for coming on. I'll see if there's anyone online that I know who I can raid. It probably isn't. If anyone wants anyone to raid, any friends they know that are streaming, let me know. So I can raid them because I don't really know who plays Age of Empires. Who isn't massive. Yeah, thanks for being here. Some few attendees. I'm sure people like Emu, if they're around, can watch afterwards. The VOD will be on. I upload mine to my YouTube and I unlist them, so you have the thing. So because obviously Twitch doesn't keep the videos forever. I process it and upload it and export it to YouTube. It's all in the streaming spreadsheet. That's in the pinned the streaming thing if you ever want to watch it. Thank you. I can't see anyone to raid, so thanks and I'll finish off the cast. And good luck with all of our games, all of our group 3. Well, I think we're all group 3 here, so good luck with all of our games that are coming this week. And we'll see who makes it to the next round.